Hello again, it is Sure Shot and Breaker Box coming with you to part 2 of the console breakdown. I guess I'll hand it over to Breaker Box. He's the one who knows what he's doing, not Sure Shot.
Alright, sorry about that, our camera kind of got cut off, so we're going to make this a two-part video. But we're left off, you know exactly where we left off on the first video. Right here, we're going to take apart all this in here so we can properly clean this out. So, like I was going over, we're going to have to pull this guy out of here, and there is a little piece of tape. Pull that off, and after you take that off, it should just come right apart. You've got two little cords back here holding this together. You're just going to unplug them. It's pretty simple, and wiggle them out of there, and voila, you've got this whole part out. And also make sure when you take apart the console, never leave a disc inside of here, because you can ruin the disc for one, and I don't know if you can do any further damage, but I wouldn't take a chance. So we'll go ahead and set this off to the side though, out of the way, and then we have this this white cover here. That is for your fan, basically, to funnel in the air to your hard drive in here. And so this piece will just kind of pop out of here. Sometimes you gotta take a little flathead screwdriver and kind of pop in right here. There we go. There we go. Alright. So we got that out, and we're going to set that to the side as well. And now we're basically down to the bare minimum here. We have just an empty metal shell here with our motherboard and hard drive and everything in it. And I don't know if you can see, but it is clearly full of dust in here. So what we've got here, this stuff kind of sucks. I need to buy some better stuff next time, but we got some air duster, and we're just going to kind of take this and we're going to blow through this whole thing and try to get some of this dust out of here. So we'll see what happens. And I don't know if you can see any of that dust, but it's going everywhere. Kind of hard to breathe. Make sure you get your fans real good. Inside, outside. And make sure you get it right here. That's the part that will heat up and actually give you the red ring. And if you were going to attempt to try to fix red ring yourself, you do all this, you take it apart just like we've done. And what you would actually do, how I've found that works, it's kind of more of a temporary thing, but still, you could do it over and over. I've done it for about a year, about every couple months you gotta take it apart and do this, if you try to anyways. But you'll take it apart, and you'll basically leave this fan unplugged. There's a plug down here. You'll unplug the fan, leave the fan cover off, and you will actually plug your cords back in, and you'll let it overheat itself, and it'll pop on the little rings there, and you'll let it overheat itself though, and basically it kind of like restarts this hard drive here, and it usually will work for another couple months before it breaks again. That's about the most luck I've had with it anyways, but that can be a whole different video. We're not gonna do all that today. Maybe if my Xbox gets red ring, but
Oh, then you're out of luck.
We're gonna do a little more blowing though. Make sure we get this nice and good.
You might as well work for Microsoft.
Yeah. It's amazing how dusty these things will get. Well, we've pretty much got the inside of this guy nice and clean, blown off. You don't really see any dust.
If you do,
So-
you just got too good a vision for us.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and set this part off to the side and blow the other half of this.
With the dust bunnies.
I'm going to show you the dust bunnies again. That's how dusty this guy got. So we'll go ahead and knock those out. I don't need that blowing in my face. And just take this and kind of go over it. Blow all this off real quick before we slap it back on. Alright. And we'll set this off to the side real quick. We'll blow a couple more things off. Blow this little shell, get any dust, get that all off there. And then we will take our disc tray here and just kind of blow that all off. Alright. Well, one more thing. This top shell. We'll blow that. And I think we'll call it good after that. The cleaning. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and take our main part of the Xbox here again, and we're just going to put everything back together. And just in case you may have forgot how to put it back together, or you're getting confused, I'll walk you through that. So we're going to plug this all back in again. There are 2 cords. You shouldn't get them confused because they're completely different sizes. Just make sure you got them going in the right direction. Don't force them in, just kind of make sure they go in nice and easy. They should. And so plug those in. And before we stick that in there, we're going to go ahead and stick this plastic cover back on right here. Just like so. It should just kind of pop in there. And just kind of set there. It's nothing too special. It doesn't really serve as much as a purpose. But, alright. So we've got that on there. And now, our disc tray should just sit in there. It's got 4 little pins here. And it'll sit in all those slots. If you can't get to go in, just kind of wiggle it around. It'll eventually go in. Kind of work it down in there. And we're going to go ahead and peel that tape back on there. Hold that on there. And now we can put this stuff right here. Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and put this and that other little plastic piece back on. And it should just sit on there like so. Yeah, spoke too soon.
Guys, shot me through a riot shield. Was it?
Oh, alright, I was doing it wrong. You gotta put it on this side and it slides over, and then just kind of set it down on there. And it should sit like so. And this piece, it's got just a little bitty pin right here it slides into, and it just hooks right there. And there's your button. Voila. So, we got that all back on. Now we are going to take this piece again here, this top cover, and we are going to set it on top here. And just gotta get it to line up with these little slots and pins and everything here. A little tricky, not too terribly tricky. Oh, we'll put this on after we put that on, my bad. Alright. So now we've got that on, we can put this back on real quick, and just kind of pops on, like I said. So we got that on there, and then we're going to hold it in one piece like this, and flip it upside down, so we can put our bolts back in. So, we had our 6 bolts, like that, and we're just going to set these in here. Alright, and then we're going to take our screwdriver and squeeze it back in real quick. Bang. And also, I didn't mention it, but I did have some Q-tips and some alcohol. If you wanted to get real detailed, you know, and sit here and polish it all up, get it real nice and clean, it's really unnecessary. But if you wanted to, I brought them just, you know, to show you you can.
Or if your disc tray gets jammed, like just recently my cousin, he had the 3 red rings of death, and me and Michael talked about this before, and so I pulled his little stunts on moves and fixed his whole thing. He was kind of mad about it, but then he decided to try and taunt me. Well, my disc tray don't work, and so I popped out his disc tray, took everything apart, took some alcohol and Q-tips, and you know, kind of just cleansed it out because it was kind of sticky from pop, you know. Doesn't take care of the thing. It was covered in dirt, dust, pop stains, stickers. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's not a bad idea. And also, before I forget, I want to add, when you're screwing in these screws, and it goes for anytime you're screwing any screws into plastic, just snug them. You don't need to tighten these things. This thing isn't, you know, holding a bridge up. You just snug them in there to where it's not going to come apart and call it good. Otherwise, you'll break these little plastic screw holes on the other side. They'll bust. So don't tighten them real tight. So now we are to here again. We got that all in one piece. Everything's intact, not falling apart. Now we're going to take this top cover here, and we're going to slip it back on. And just like when you put it together, or you took it apart, you're going to put it together the same way. Start with the back, and then go to the front. So, we're going to try to attempt to get this to line up. That's easy, but just like taking it apart, it's about just as difficult to put back together, so on this back side.
By the way, just want to get it out there, going 14-3 on a team deathmatch, a 4.67 KD ratio. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but, you know, just doing pretty good today.
Yeah, he's got the PS3 going right now, obviously.
Yeah, Sure Shot gets kind of bored, he can't go consoleless. It's like taking away a man's penis and telling him to go fuck. As from Michael's point of view, Angelina Jolie.
There we go. Got it to pop back in like so. And then this side, you just push it together. Make sure it hits these tabs. All 4 of them. Put your sticker back on or peel it off, whatever you want to do. I just leave it on for the heck of it.
I took mine off, it bugged me.
Now what we're going to do is go ahead and we can stick our faceplate back on. It doesn't really matter at this point what step we want to go to. It's pretty much all downhill. Stick that back on, it just pops on like so. And then we're going to turn it on. This side, it's got the little slot for your hard drive to plug into right there. That is going to be the odd-shaped piece like that. We're going to stick it on. And it should just pop in like so, and you got actually put this in, it kind of like actually kind of slides in there, and then everything else just kind of pops in. And then we can stick our hard drive back in there. We're having a retardation problem here. There we go. That is popped in like so. Flip it back on this side. And we can stick our last piece here, and it just pops in, like so, and voila, we have the whole console put back together, and it should run pretty good now. If you ever notice when you're playing and your console starts to freeze and you realize it's not the games, that's what a lot of the problems is your console. It'll start to actually overheat, and you're actually working towards getting that red ring, which all the red ring is it's just your hard drive is starting to overheat, and it actually overheats and fries. So you can avoid that whole process by taking this apart. You know, maybe you don't gotta do it all the time, but maybe every 6 months to a year at least, I would take it apart and get you some air duster, blow it all out, get it all cleaned up, put it back together, and you should be good for a while. But I highly suggest doing it, because things can get dusty real fast, especially if you have them in a small enclosed area. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, I know it's an older console, but it's still out there, so I wanted to make my own video. And I guess if you got any questions, comments, you know, anything, just leave us comments or, you know, ask questions. You got anything you want to add there, Sure Shots?
Rate, like, and subscribe, and you will see us again here soon.
Alrighty, thank you much.